They're called they're black bags. If people drive around and you look at them, it gets real like, hey, it's time people look. And then that's when you tell people it's time to get to Temple.
Breaking right now at noon, the suspect in the Kalamazoo shooting rampage, Jason Dalton, hauled out of court after what looked like a sudden movement during victim Tiana Carruthers' testimony. Certainly an emotional moment for Carruthers. This is the first time the two saw each other face to face since that shooting. 24-hour News 8's Tom Hillen was inside the courtroom when all of this happened. He joins us live now from Kalamazoo. Tom?
Susan, very dramatic and very intense moments inside that courtroom earlier this morning. Now, Tiana Carruthers had to be helped onto the stand. She was using a cane, still clearly suffering from injuries as a result of the shooting back in February. Prosecutor Getting was questioning her, asking her about the type of car that she saw that day that the shooting started. And that is when all of a sudden this outburst from Dalton happened, where he started talking about black bags and rambling on and on. We want you to take a listen to the full ramblings that he did.
Black bags, they're called they're black bags. If people drive around and you look at them, it gets real like, hey, it's time people look. And then that's when you tell people it's time to get to Temple.
Mr. Dalton, you need to listen to your attorney, right?
Yeah, you need to get to Temple because you need to get going because they're called intimidator bags.
Now, after that outburst, which really clearly shook Carruthers, it took a few minutes to get her calmed back down, and then the prosecutor was able to start asking her a few more questions. And then, all of a sudden, Dalton made a very sudden movement towards Carruthers. She screamed, and deputies surrounded Dalton, and he was hauled out of the court. Here's how it all played out.
All right.
Take it.
Court down into holding.
He just stopped walking and goes to dead weight, not helping the deputies get him out at all. Honestly, this was a very difficult scene to watch unfold. People surrounded Carruthers inside that courtroom. It took her several minutes before she was able to gain control of herself again, and then she was being able to be taken out of that courtroom, but obviously very shaken. It took several minutes for that to happen. They brought her into the hallways in between the courtrooms where they are and where we are as the media. You could still hear her letting out those screams in the hallway as well. So obviously very traumatic for her to be going through this. Now we want to give you some live pictures from inside the courtroom right now. Here's where things sit. After Dalton was hauled out of that courtroom, he was then brought back to the Kalamazoo County Jail. He will not be brought back here to court. We have been adjourned. We are waiting for court to come back into session, and again, he will be appearing via video feed from the Kalamazoo County Jail. So he was hauled out. He was brought back to jail. The judge saying we are not letting him back in this courtroom today. So we did not get very far this morning. We were supposed to start at 9 o'clock. Things were delayed. We didn't start till about 9:45, and then this outburst happened. We were really only in session for less than 30 minutes, so very behind where the judge and the prosecution team wanted to be, and now we're waiting for things to get back underway here in Kalamazoo, Susan.
Okay, gosh, what an emotional time in court for Tiana Carruthers. Hearing her sobs, it's just so difficult to hear.
It was very difficult to hear, very difficult to watch. You can't imagine the amount of pain that she is in, both physically and emotionally. Remember, this is the first time that she has seen Dalton since that day of him allegedly shooting her. So from the minute she took the stand, you could tell that she was very nervous. They had to tell her to speak up, and she was very frail, I might say, and understandably so. And then when this happened, it just really shook her. And so now the question is when and if the prosecutor will put her back on the stand. We imagine that he is going going to have to put her back onto the stand, because we really didn't even get to the part of the questioning where he would ask her about what played out that day. And so we do know, we expect he'll put her back on the stand, but whether that will happen today, that we don't know yet.
Right. With him out of the courtroom and in jail via video, I would say it would hopefully be easier for her to testify, but you know, it's unclear. I mean, it's certainly an emotional thing to talk about for her, and seeing her walk into the courtroom, she's still healing. I mean, she's using a cane, and it's still difficult for her, clearly. Tom, what was it like for other people in the courtroom when this outburst happened?
You know, just to sit there and to watch their faces too. Most of the people in there are friends and family of the other victims in this case. So they have gone through, you know, that emotional journey as well. So you know that they are feeling for Tiana. This is extremely difficult for someone to get up and do in any normal situation. Then to have this person that's alleged, you know, to shooting you, make these movements, have these outbursts towards you, it just puts you even more on edge. And for the families in the courtroom watching this, it puts them on edge as well. So again, a very emotional scene for most everyone in that courtroom, because again, most of the people inside that courtroom are friends or family, relatives of some sort of the other victims in this case.
Okay, Tom Hillen reporting live from Kalamazoo. Thank you so much. We will continue to see how this plays out, and we will continue to follow it on air and online. Tom, thank you. On her way to the courthouse, Tiana Carruthers posted a Facebook video about her nerves before testifying today. Here's part of that.
This is my first time actually seeing this man besides what he did to me. So, I don't know, everyone pray for me, because I say one thing, but it might be another. I hope I don't get too emotional, but...
Nerves are high, that's for sure. Tiana and 14-year-old Abby Koff were the two survivors from the February shooting rampage. Abby recently underwent surgery on her skull. She is now recovering in her Battle Creek home. 6 people were killed in the February 20th shooting rampage. From top left to right, Mary Jo Nye, Mary Lou Nye, Dorothy Brown, Barbara Hawthorne, and Rich and Tyler Smith, who are father and son. We've got the stream of Dalton's hearing on our website, woodtv.com. We will keep that up as long as the court proceedings last. That is on our homepage at woodtv.com. And of course, we'll have live reports on News 8 at 5 and 6 o'clock.